Good day, everyone. Welcome to our webinar for the Introduction to E-Commerce course of the University of the Philippines, Open University, Faculty of Management and Development Studies. So for today's webinar, we'll be discussing some of the alternative options for your e-commerce stores. And we'll have a quick discussion on a model to a model and a framework on how can you create an ecosystem of distribution channels for your e-commerce businesses. Okay, and hopefully at the end of this discussion, we'll have a quick game para naman maiba yung ating discussion. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. So, we'll start the discussion with the presentation that I created. Okay. So I won't be having a actual demo on some of the points to be discussed in today's discussion. So unlike the other ones, we'll be focusing our attention on some of the description and the some of the advantages and disadvantages of having these alternative paths for e-commerce stores. Now, we've discussed the owned e-commerce store, and that's through a typical website. You own your domain, you own your hosting, and you put your own software there for your e-commerce store. In previous discussion, we've discussed WordPress. We also discussed a managed e-commerce platform, and that managed one is through Shopify. Though you can have other options, which are Wix, Squarespace. I've discussed Shopify because that's the most common managed e-commerce platform used in the Philippines. So we've discussed owned, then managed. In today's discussion, we'll be focusing our attention on the leased platforms and the granted ones. So for your e-commerce store requirement for the introduction to e-commerce course, you can opt for the leased and the granted ones. So what are these? So basically, we have this. You have this image. So we start with the business. So the business is here. Uh, okay. So we have the business here, um, and then they offer products and services, products and services that matches the customer profile of your customers. Now, the connecting, uh, the connection between your products and services and your customer profile or your customers is where you offer, distribute your products and services, and that's your e-commerce store. Now we have different types of e-commerce store. As I mentioned a while ago, we've discussed the owned one, which is you build your own from scratch. So we've discussed you buy your own domain, buy your own hosting, put in some software there, customize, and you build your own. That's the owned platform for your e-commerce store. We also have a leased one. So you rent a private network. You rent a platform that manages their own e-commerce platform. And that's the Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, and other private network that offers e-commerce store functionality. So just pay and then agree to their terms, and then that's leased. Um, Leased and paid um, can be interchangeable in this model. Um, then we have the granted ones. Granted are there's no fee to use those distribution channels. However, you ask permission. So in this example, let's go to the this model is called the POGLE media model. This is mainly used for digital marketing, but for our purpose, we'll be using this for our e-commerce store. Now, the owned one, this one, owned one are your own website. That includes the, the, the digital marketing assets or content, which are brochures, catalogs, the videos, and all. But the main idea is you own the platform where you would sell your product and services. That's owned. Now, we have the leased media. That's the accounts on Facebook, LinkedIn, particularly on social media. You can sell on those platforms. However, you don't control you don't control that platform. So any change in their policy would affect your business. Before I remember, um, before there was a boom in the advertising and digital marketing in Facebook. Before, when you post something on your page, just a post your product or a simple post, it would be shown to all uh, people who like your page. But today, only a few would see that post, that free post in your Facebook page. Why? Because at the end of the day, Facebook is a business and they would prioritize the advertisers uh, as compared to the businesses who are just posting for free on their pages. So you are at the mercy of whatever uh, policy changes they have. That's leased platforms. This includes yeah, mobile apps, Instagram. Yeah. Okay. We have the granted ones. The granted ones are uh, platforms where you can just use the platform, use the communication channel, and sell on those platforms. An example of granted um, platforms for e-commerce stores are email. You just use your email. E-commerce at the end of the day is a transaction done electronically. So when you sell online using email, it's a form of e-commerce. You don't really need a website. So if you have a good amount of email addresses that you know that they trust you, you can sell just by sending email. Similarly, when you use SMS, you can sell. Before the advent of the internet, SMS is the thing in selling. So that's one way. But now SMS is more used for promotions, digital marketing rather than plain for selling. And then we have search engine authority. And when you build a website, Google grants you that authority. That depends on mm, the 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 content, the technical aspects of your website, and also the the links or the trust earned by that website. So it's a granted one. Then the paid ones here. You can see here. This is the example here is paid media, but for our purpose, since this lecture is about e-commerce store or distribution channels done online, paid could be the managed e-commerce platforms, which are the Shopify, the Wix, and the Squarespace, and the other paid platforms for you to sell. Okay, so that's the POGLE media model done in a e-commerce distribution channel explanation. What I failed to mention here is in the middle, that's the earned media. Earned media in digital marketing is somehow the holy grail of um, of trust, because when you earn something, because the explanation of earned media is have others build that network for you. So in the explanation of e-commerce distribution platforms or e-commerce stores, earned media can be uh, can be explained by people selling stuff for you. So that's affiliate sales. So people would ask for your products and they would sell for a commission. That's an earned platform. But in digital marketing, earned media is about getting that word of mouth, publicity, media relations, and all. Uh, so that's uh, one model that you can use in your digital marketing, and also thinking of different distribution channels for your e-commerce store, because rarely do have a business that relies on just one. uh, when you have a website, you should have leased platforms on social media. You use the granted ones, email and SMS, and you do paid stuff. Uh, and then you try to earn or try people to sell your stuff. So it's an ecosystem of distribution channel. But for our course, you just need to create one for the course as the requirement. Okay. We'll heavily discuss this on the digital marketing discussions, which would be tackling this five um, media types for digital marketing campaigns, right? So, granted ones. Let's focus our attention on granted. Granted are selling through email and SMS. You can focus just by using email, SMS. However, it's very difficult to start a business with a good set of phone numbers that trust you, or customers with phone numbers that fully trust you. That said, it's very difficult to also have a customer or set of customers that given you set of emails, and you can sell by just sending emails to them. So it's very difficult. Usually, these ones are complementary platforms to sell. We will discuss that on the digital marketing, but this is for captured markets rather than acquiring customers at the start. Leased platforms for e-commerce store are marketplaces. There's really no cost. You just rent a space in that marketplace. In our case here, Shopee and Lazada, the big ones in the Philippines. However, there are other small ones that you can search. But in our discussion, let's just focus our attention on these two big ones. So Shopee and Lazada, it's free to sign up. You just need to create an account with them and start selling. Now, there are uh, differences between the two. Um, One, commission. So they charge for every sold item. I believe for Lazada, if you just sign up as a merchant, there is no there's no commission. It's 0%. However, you need to avail their logistics services, and then a little bit transaction fee for use of their payment gateways or payment channels. On the other hand, Shopee, I believe, uh, have a 2% transaction fee for the use of their uh, platform and the payment gateways that you can use, credit cards and all. So that's the difference. Um, there's also the Shopee and Lazada Mall option, but that is just for official distributors of certain brands. If you have that, well, it's a good uh, account in Shopee and Lazada if you have official or you distribute a brand officially. Okay. In terms of shipping, what I noticed Shopee versus Lazada. Lazada uh, does have drop off points wherein you need to drop your items for small turnover. If you're selling 20 orders a day or less, I believe you need to uh, you need to place the items on drop off points for shipping. In case of Shopee, because they charge on the transaction fee, they offer pickup. Though I may be mistaken, there could be changes. But from my experience, Lazada for small orders, you need to get the items on their drop off points, and then Shopee can pick it up on the address you're assigned on your account. Customer service, Lazada have a 24 to 48-hour response time on the average. Shopee, what I notice in their merchant accounts is there are live chat. So you can talk to some of their agents in real time. Logistics, as I mentioned, Lazada has their own. So they offer a Lazada owned shipping. So they have rate. Shopee is partnered with, if I'm not mistaken, it may be Ninja Van. So it really depends on their partnership with them. So what subtle differences, but they cancel out each other. So it's typically the same. Um, the main difference in Shopee and Lazada is the payout. So for Lazada, they send um, or you can receive the sales that you got every week. I think every Thursday. You get sales for a week every Thursday. For Shopee, you get your sales when a customer clicks the I received the item button. So Shopee offers an escrow service. Escrow service is something like when I pay Shopee, there is a third party agent that keeps the money, and then they will just send that money when the customer is satisfied or gets the item. So Shopee, it depends on your turnover. You get your sales immediately after the customer clicks that I received the item button. Then for claims, there is a uh, dispute policies for both. Just need to file on a portal, and then they would respond in a few days. But it could take uh, a week, a month, or a few months. Depends on the complexity of the claim. These are the returns to senders, broken items, or a different item sent to a customer. So at the end of the day, I believe Shopee and Lazada before. Lazada is dominating the Philippine market, but now it's sort of an equal thing. There's a point where Shopee overtaken Lazada, but they're head to head in terms of traffic. Um, in my assessment, it's more, if you prefer customer service and a quick turnaround of your sales, it's more for Shopee. If you want to have more logistical operational excellence, it's more on Lazada. So it really depends who your target market is and who your or what your priorities are. You just need to check the pros and cons of each. But if you're into physical selling of item or selling of physical items, um, I suggest you do both. At least you capture the both both traffic coming from each of the platform. So uh, it's better to use both. Okay, other leased platforms for our e-commerce stores are social media. Social media, particularly on Facebook and Instagram. There are really no platforms yet, uh, apart from the other marketplaces. There are no e-commerce shops on social media, not hosted on Facebook or Instagram. Mostly, it's either Facebook or Instagram or both. So this it's very easy to create an e-commerce shop in Facebook. You just create a page, enable the shop function, populate the content, and then you're good to go. You have two options in checking out in Facebook and Instagram. It's either the checkout button is to check out on a website or check out on Facebook Messenger. So you talk to that person if the person chose or you chose Facebook Messenger. So parang yung customer, they would click the checkout on Messenger, and then you just talk to them, send them how to pay, and then tell them that their payment is confirmed, and then you're sending the item uh, as manual as that. The other one, check via a website, is where when they click that button, they would uh, be redirected. They were redirected to a website that have payment gateway options. So that's why when we have a demo a few days back, I've shown Shopify because it's very easy to integrate both. But there are other platforms that you can integrate with Facebook. There are many uh, website checkout services that can integrate with Facebook. Now, Instagram is basically the same company as with Facebook. Uh, the difference between the two are the users of each. Instagram is more for the upper economic class. Facebook is for everyone. So it really depends. But in my experience, when you have a Facebook shop, make sure to create an Instagram because you can manage both on just one ads platform and page. So it's basically who your customers are, what are their preferences, and build the bridges to them. It might be social media, it might be marketplaces, your own website, or a managed website one. Okay. So again, um, this model is mainly for digital marketing, but for our purpose, it's our way to create an ecosystem of distribution channels to connect your products and services to your target market. Now, is question: is it enough that I have a website and social media? The answer is it depends. Why? Because your distribution channels or your e-commerce store should depend on what your customers prefer, where they hang out, where do they usually buy. Now, if you have, if you're starting a new business, you need to research these things. You need to talk to your customers, ask them where do they spend their day, when, what platforms do they access in terms of selling some of the stuff, or the the products or service that your competitors offer, something like that. So you talk to your customers and ask them their preferences in terms of buying stuff. So that's where you create your distribution go-to-market strategy. For existing businesses who have a set of customers to start with, or or they have a customers that bought from them previously, what you need to do is just talk to these people, and where do they hang out, what opportunities do you think your business can still offer to them, and then build and build a better distribution network strategy for them. So it's uh, fairly different for an existing business and a new business in terms of creating an ecosystem for distribution channels. Okay. May tanong ba? Our discussion is quick lang because we've discussed our WordPress owned website, an e-commerce shop using WordPress. Though you can use other software, uh, Joomla, Magento, whatever open source uh, software you can use that's hosted on um, hosting platforms. Um, the other the other one, managed one, Wix, Shopify, and the likes, and then social media, and then the granted ones. There's a question here. What's a good email platform? The first question here, let me just quantify. Uh, what's a good email platform? If you're talking about mass automation and sending out for promotions, there are many platforms on that field. There's also a customer relationship management software that use email to build relationship. It's different. So parang uh, in common language, yung isa, meron kang set of customers, meron kang emails, you send out. You send out email regularly. Gusto mo every night, padala ka. Mga sale, promotion, products. Yun yung isang mga email service or platforms. The other one, yung isa naman, ginagawa niya is uh, when people access my website, for example, I have a free downloadable ebook there. Uh, when they leave their email, my email provider automatically sends them a welcome email. And then after a few days, they would send another email about some of the content or some of the things that we do, just to create that relationship. Going to uh, going to some going to a set of emails that would ask them to buy um, a service, a product, a consulting gig or something. So it's different. I use the other one, yung second, para may automation. So when people I have a website, for the consulting and training company that I have. So when people leave their email there, I would send welcome email, a quick uh, a set of emails teaching them some things, and then when they want to learn the full stuff, I would offer a course. Yan, yung isa. If just an email, marami naman dyan, Google. Pero yung mga sending, may mga MailChimp, yun yung MailChimp, may automation na rin doon. And then, uh, other ones, nakalatch sa email mo, like the ones I have. So, yung Gmail ko, primarily, may automation siya. I attach a email platform there. Uh, Meron I use Company Hub for CRM. Pero I use my same email, not a custom one, not the domain one. So it's like since courses and training and consulting is not a mass product that you just send out promotional emails. It's more of creation of relationships. So I use uh, Company Hub. Yeah. Okay. Now, uh, ibahin naman natin yung style ng ating live session. Uh, since uh, we've discussed everything in the e-commerce platforms for your e-commerce shops, uh, owned, managed, social media, marketplaces. So you just need to decide based on your business model what you'll be using for your business. That should be submit as the final requirement for this course. Now, ibahin naman natin yung approach. Since marami namang naka-live, uh, mag thumbs up siguro or something. Sino ang nag-access via laptop? Or ganito na lang, sino may extra device dyan? Yung free, may cellphone. Let's have a quick game. Maiba naman para light ng ating discussion. Bakit kailangan ng cellphone? Magkaroon tayo ng game. So, itong game na to, this is about social media going to digital marketing. So, sign up lang. No, hindi nyo kailangan mag-sign up. Punta kayo sa kahoot.it address sa browser or kung meron kayong mobile phone, malakas yung internet nyo, download nyo yung Kahoot app. Yan. And then, lagay nyo tong PIN. 9215184. Yan. Maglalaro tayo ng game. Yung mga sanay na sanay na online courses, ganyan, or training, alam nyo tong game na to. So, antay-antayin natin yung iba. Marami na. Kung meron kayong kasama dyan sa bahay nyo, isama nyo na din. Wala namang ano dito. Magbigay tayo, bigay akong prize sa mananalo. Magbibigay ako ng prize, pero yung prize surprise. Prize surprise. So, surprise talaga na lang sa ating um, foresight. This is about the digital platform, social media platforms, um, updated January 2021 in the Philippine setting. Yun lang naman yung topic. Nothing to be technical. One minute, 1 minute. Antay tayo. Ilan ba tayo? So, madali lang naman siya. Itong game na to, once I open or start the game, there would be questions on your mobile phone, on your desktop, and then you just select the correct answer. Meron siyang shapes and colors. Okay, so 10 would be enough. Magkakaroon ng yung mga hindi pa nakapasok, nag-aantay pa, uh, meron pin pa rin. So, you can join anytime. So, start na natin. So, ano yung pinakasikat from left to right? Yung nasa leftmost yung pinaka maraming users. Uh, before, uh, FB Messenger, yan. Uh, ngayon, hindi, YouTube talaga. YouTube talaga yung second. Yung FB Messenger, yung bago dyan, yung naging third. Because nagka-pandemic, uh, mas kailangan natin makapag-usap. Pero by default, it's Facebook first and then YouTube. This is in the Philippine setting, Philippine setting, updated January 2021. So, dati yung Facebook Messenger wala dito sa mga active networks eh. Dahil sa pandemic, naging siya, naging active, mas active as compared pa sa other platforms. Now, nangyari, mas nauso yung mga selling on Facebook Messenger, stories, yan. So, PM is the key, yan. Kaya, yung naging effect ng ating nilaranasang pandemic ngayon. So, next question. Yan. So, meron tayong dito, rankings. Don't worry, malagyan pa to ng score. Sino daw ang active sa social media? Nagbago to nung nung pandemic. Okay. So before ng pandemic, ang talagang active sa social media is the 18 to 24 bracket. Ngayon, nung nagka-pandemic, naging active yung 25 to 34 because ito, hindi sila masyado ma-social media. And since lockdowns and all, mas kailangan nila makapag-communicate, makipag-socialize using online platforms. So yan, nadagdagan yung mga hindi na gumagamit. Tapos yun, nag-pandemic pa kaya naging 25 to 34. So sa businesses, mas lumaki yung chances na ma-reach out natin yung 25 to 34. Which, ito yung merong spending power as compared to the 18 to 24. Okay. So, meron na tayong leader. Reachable Filipino on Facebook, age 13 and plus. That's percentage of population, the Philippine population. Reachable Filipino on Facebook, age 13 and above. Okay. Doesn't make sense, no? 101.5%. Pwede, bakit lumagpas ng percentage ng population ng Pilipino? Ang dahilan is because merong mga Filipino, dalawa yung account. Yan. So, yun yung dahilan. So, basically, lahat ng Pinoy, o karamihan ng Pinoy, 13 and above, kaya nating hanapin, kaya nating ma-reach out sa Facebook. Although meron pa rin, syempre, wala talagang account, pero na-compensate sila ng mga nagdoble-doble, kaya lumagpas ng ah, population. Pero, end of the day, parang halos lahat ng Filipino kaya natin hanapin sa Facebook, eh. Yun lang yung gusto sabihin nitong question na 'to sa atin. Ito Instagram naman, Instagram. Same question but on Instagram. Uy, walang tumama. Onti lang ang Instagram, ang gumagamit ng Instagram sa Pilipinas. Usually, based on experience, younger generation, and then nasa higher economic class as compared to the ones in Facebook. Yan. Around 20% of population, 13 and up. So, ilang beses daw nagko-comment ang isang Filipino sa mga Facebook posts sa isang buwan. On the average, median na yung median, so average, 12. So, ganun ka lakas mag-comment mga Pilipino. Ang average, alam ko, less than, parang mga 5 yata o 6 yung average worldwide. So, Pilipino, mahilig makipagdebate sa mga comment. We can use that to our advantage kasi for online selling. So, sinasabi yung tanong na 'to, ilan yung makakakita ng post ng isang page as compared sa mga nag-like dun sa page na yun? Ilang percentage? Yan. Ang tamang sagot is 0.15%. Imagine, before kasi nagwo-work pa yung mag-post ka lang sa page mo, share mo lang or tag mo yung mga friends mo, magkaka-engagement ka. Magkakaroon ng or kakalat yung post mong yun or kung ano yung pinopromote mo. That was before. But ngayon, Facebook focus their attention uh, on getting revenues, and that's prioritizing brands, businesses paying for their advertising platform. So paying for ads nga. So ngayon, kung magpo-post ka lang at i-expect mo makakabenta ka, medyo mahirap mag-expect at mahirap uh, mag-project ng sales by just posting. Kung maliit lang yung business nyo within the barangay, meron kayong Facebook group ng kunyari, Facebook group ng isang yan, barangay. Yun, pwede nga mag-post-post yun. Okay, mga ganun. Pero on a scale, if you want to sell more, hindi enough yung magpo-post ka lang. You need to pay for their advertising platform in Facebook para makita kayo. But it's a mix eh. Yung 0.15 na to, merong exception dyan. Kung sobrang ganda ng sinishare nyo na content that would make that post go viral, yun yung pwede. But it's very difficult to create a post intended to promote that will become viral. So, yun yung catch. So, again, at the end of the day, private network ang Facebook. They control everything. And still, it's a business. They would prioritize people paying their platform for a share of the moment or the attention of people on news feeds. So, yan. Kailangan nyo magbayad ng ads kung gusto nyo makakuha ng sales. Ngayon, ang challenge na lang sa atin, which is the question ng digital marketing. Dapat, oo, malaki yung gagastusin mo sa ads. Pero dapat, may at least 2 to 3-fold return in terms of sales as compared to the ads spent. Filipino viewers on YouTube. Wala, hula-hula lang to unless alam nyo talaga. So, it's 54.2 million. So, half of the population are tuning into Facebook, into YouTube. Actually, parang ano na nga siya eh. Sort of an alternative to a big alternative to TV. Lalo nung nawala yung ABS-CBN, naging nasa ano na lang sila, online. So, mas lumaki actually to, yung number nito. FB Messenger users. Actually, mahuhulaan nito eh. Mahuhulaan nyo tong sagot dito kung naalala nyo yung mga tanong kanina. It's 45. It's lesser than uh, YouTube's. Number of Filipino LinkedIn profiles. So obviously, maliit lang to. Yan, it's 9.6 lang. Maliit, pero masyadong niche siya for professionals. Professionals seeking for jobs, mga underemployed. Ibig sabihin ng underemployed, naghahanap sila ng iba pang opportunities uh, na better sa kanilang current work. So, yan yung profile ng LinkedIn eh. So, if you're selling to those target market, merong advertising platform din yung LinkedIn. Pero walang online store doon. Kasi wala akong makitang TikTok users pa. Ito lang yung merong tayong reference point. So, just included this one. For our mini quiz. Hindi siya quiz. Parang ano lang siya, game. Yan. Actually, marami pa yung Snapchat kaysa sa LinkedIn. So, it's 12.7. Twitter. Yan, Twitter. Maliit din siya eh. Ang Twitter is mainly used for current events. Yan. Talking about something happening. News, events, and other stuff. Yan. Sa ibang markets like the US market, Twitter is more popular than the Facebook platforms. Uh, I don't know. Uh, Mas Twitter sila dun eh, kaysa Facebook. Mobile connection versus total Filipino population is 135.6. True or false? It's true. Mas marami ang cellphone. Kasi Filipino, 'di ba, Globe and Smart. Yan. Yun, may bago pa, may dito. Hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari. Baka maging tatlo na. So, goes to show, majority ng Filipino merong cellphone. Around, I think, ang penetration ng smartphone nasa 50 to 60% eh, ng population. So, uh, it's easy for us to connect to these people because obviously they have a connection kahit mga libre, kaya natin silang kontakin or kaya natin silang pagbentahan online. Yan. Out of the mobile connections in the Philippines, ilan ang ano doon? Prepaid connection. This is again based on a research done January 2021. So 71.9% ang prepaid, 70%. So usually dapat meron kang itong question nito, itong statistic na ito mas relevant for digital marketing because most of us have prepaid connections. Hindi mabilis yung uh, connection or maliit lang yung data. So, it goes to show, kailangan meron kang advertising na image lang, hindi video. So, yun yung relevance nitong question. Four questions na lang. Parang obvious naman tong tanong na to, no? Filipinos rank first in using video calling services on mobile worldwide. Yeah. Oh, it's actually true. Ngayon pa nagka-COVID, eh ang Filipino number one sa mga OF o mga workers abroad. So, uh, obviously, tayong magiging number one dito. Last three questions. Four pala, four. Percentage of internet users using QR codes. Ito yung ano, a huge jump. A huge jump from pre-COVID time. Before, hindi masyadong ginagamit to eh. Actually, kahit ako, hindi ako nagka-QR code before. Pero na nagka-pandemic, um, yan, napilitang gamitin for online payments, scanning of mga contact tracing and all. Yan. So, QR codes, magagamit natin siya for our content, for our e-commerce platforms, yung mga QR codes. Mas in-adapt na siya ngayon. Ito, percentage of internet users who bought something online. Before, mababa to eh. So, ano siya. Ito, a huge jump din because of COVID. It's 80.2%. So, imagine, lahat ng may internet sa Pilipinas or gumagamit ng internet, bumibili siya. sa internet. Kung ano man yun, hindi natin alam. Pero at least, meron ng trust factor in buying online. So, it goes to show, online business is here for the long run, and for us, it's a huge opportunity to build business online. 80%, imagine that. Last two. Dito ako pinaka-interested eh. Maybe because yung background ko din. The question is percentage of internet users who bought any type of digital content the past month. Filipino to internet users. Filipino internet users. So imagine before, kasi 'di ba pre-COVID, ang alam mo lang binibili online, yung mainstream is the physical items. Onti lang yung bumibili ng digital content. Ito yung bibili ka ng access sa mga video services or mga Netflix, mga iWant TV, mga ganyan. Or e-books, bili kang libro for studying or access to a group of experts, ganyan, courses. Before, maliit lang to because Filipino hindi masyadong trusting sa online, especially magbabayad ka. So, because of the pandemic, forced ang Filipinos to stay at home. And with that, staying at home, buying digital content surged. And ngayon, the opportunity is, it's not just e-commerce by selling physical items. There's a huge opportunity because, well, pangit yung dahilan kung bakit bumili ng digital content yung Filipinos because mag-lockdown. Pero the silver lining is uh, it paved the way for Filipinos to trust buying digital content. These are courses, published content, ebooks, or or courses, kahit consulting online, yan. So it's a huge opportunity, and for those who are still thinking of a better way to improve a digital content angle could uh, create an innovation kung ano mang business model na ginagawa nyo. Okay, last. Pwede pang humabol yung iba. Last question. Percentage of internet users who search online before making a decision. It's 74.1. So around 75%. Uh, 3 out of 4, hindi lang basta bibili yan. Mag-search muna yan about the one they are eyeing to buy. And that's consistent with what we'll be discussing in the next few discussion, which is digital marketing. Hindi lahat aware na kailangan nila yung item uh, or nasa stage sila na pabili na sila. Meron nagsa-search lang just to have that information or napadaan lang. So that's the whole point of digital marketing and using customer behavior as a way to connect to your target market. So, uh, we'll be discussing that in the next few sessions. Ano tayo? Awarding. So, si Pinky, ang third. Si Six, ang second. And our winner, si Elsa. So, uh, prize, announce ko na lang sa ano. Announce ko na lang sa ating course site. Libro na lang. Okay. Uh, so that's our discussion for today. Quick lang siya on our some of the alternative e-commerce platforms that you can use for your business models. And for the rest of our course, we'll be focusing on digital marketing because yun yung nakuha kong information and feedback from you guys. It's more on digital marketing. Now, ang ang activity for the course is for you to create your e-commerce projects, and your digital marketing is a bonus for everyone in terms of promoting and generating sales for their e-commerce business. Okay. Masaya ba yung game? Masaya ba? So marami akong gano'n. Ginagamit ko siya live for live workshops before. Ngayon, gamit din siya pag online. Uh, my question, need po ba running ng business for ano po? This is for the digital marketing or something? Can you clarify? No, the project. So let me just clarify for this course. The introduction to e-commerce course requires you to create an e-commerce project at the end. That's the final requirement. And that e-commerce project is just a link to your e-commerce store that has a product na pwede kang magbayad at sort of parang ang feel niya as if it's an actual e-commerce business, but not necessarily it's operating. Okay? So, yun lang yung ating requirement. The challenge na lang of students is kung itutuloy nila yun, na actual business na registered and operating at the end after the course. Okay? So, meron pa ako maraming ganong game. So, magkapaganon tayo next time. Ulit. Pero maikli na lang. Ang haba nung niload ko na game. Yan, masaya yung Kahoot. Lalo kapag merong mga, actually simple quiz lang yun eh. Meron pa siyang mga guess the picture, word cloud, and mga kung ano-anong tanong. Okay. So, uh, as our as the requirement for the course, we finished everything, assignment 1 to 3. Actually, yun yung mga requirements for you to create an e-commerce project. And then now, just create an e-commerce project, yung deadline, a month after pa. And then after that, we'll just have a quick presentation. Merong template on a presentation template. Fill up nyo lang yun and then it's good. Okay na siya. And then that's for the whole course. Now, in the middle of you building your e-commerce project, we'll have some of the digital marketing and other topics that you requested. So, ano na lang siya. Magpapa-survey na lang ulit ako kung anong digital marketing uh, topics yung gusto nyo i-discuss. Yeah. Alright? May question pa ba? If you have other question, uh, may chat box or pwede kayo magsalita.
Sir, more games para more chances of winning.
Sige, next discussion. Sisimulan natin ng game. Para kahit mga ilang question lang. Marami pa akong mga ganyan. Babawasan ko na lang. Yan, magandang tanong yung tanong ni Six. Useful pa ba ang Google Ads? Yes. But it depends on the stage of the marketing funnel, or kasi sa isang consumer, merong apat na basic stages na dinadaanan siya for decision making kung bibili siya o hindi. Merong awareness, merong consideration stage, may conversion stage, at merong loyalty stage. Yung awareness, parang bigla lang siyang nakakita ng ad. Yan. Usually, hindi bumibili yung tao doon eh. Merong consideration stage. Kapag naging interested siya sa kanyang, dun sa nakita niyang ad, magsa-search siya something online. So, yun yung consideration. Usually, ang sabi, you need to consume 5 to 7 content before you decide kung bibili ka o hindi. Ibig sabihin, kung nakikita ka ng ad ng sapatos, search mo muna, sapatos, magkano ba to, ano yung features, compare versus other items, reviews, usually 5 to 7 content bago ka mag-decide. So, yun yung consideration stage. Merong conversion stage, yun na yung bibili ka. So, usually, ang Google Ads, nandun siya maganda kapag nasa ah, tail end ng consideration stage or conversion stage. Kasi alam mong meron ng buying intent. Kapag nag-search siya ng buy shoes online, alam na alam mo, pag yun yung keyword na ginamit mo for Google Ads, bibili yan. So, useful siya depends on the 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 awareness and the stage kung nasan yung customer mo. So yun yung challenge ng digital marketing. Hindi lang basta gawa ka ng ad, lagay mo sa Facebook, expect mo makakabenta ka. O makakabenta ka, pero ang labanan kasi sa digital marketing, it's not the creative content. Yes, part siya. But the challenging part is pag nagbebenta ka, meron kang tinatawag na margin eh. 'Di ba? Magkano yung spend mo per every sale, per every customer. Yun yung tinatawag na customer acquisition cost. Magkano yung spend mo for marketing? Kung mas malaki yung spend mo for marketing as compared sa yung markup or yung profit margin, nag-business ka ng palugi. So, yun yung challenge in digital marketing. So, hindi lang isang ad, it's a set of ads that is optimized for your uh, customer journey. Yan. So, yan. Medyo mahabang sagot, pero yun talaga yung tamang sagot doon. Hindi naman magso-survive yung Google Ads kung hindi gumagana. Okay? Do we still have questions? Yan. Sir, yung e-commerce like FB page, what are the specific criteria you are looking for in terms of product posting, branding, ad campaign? Kailangan po ba may successful conversion or kahit engagement lang? It really depends on the objective. Ang Facebook kasi magaling siya for brand awareness. So, it really depends on how you would create your campaign. Kasi pwedeng, let's say for example, ganito. Uh, kasi pwede kasing yung Facebook like, magparami ka, and then mag-send ka ng ad doon sa mga nag-like sa Facebook mo. Yan. Hindi lang pwede kasing just for posting lang eh. Usually, it's a set of postings and advertising. Uh, yes, i-discuss natin yung marketing funnel. Yan yung bulk. Yan yung conceptual framework ng ating digital marketing pati branding. Kasi hindi ka pwedeng, pag sinabi mong digital marketing, hindi lang gagawa ng isang ad. Gawa ka lang ng ad. Or gawa ka ng maraming set of ads. Or maraming ads. Dapat meron kang framework na nakatarget doon sa objective mo para doon sa customer. Like for example, ganito ang style ng typical marketing funnel. Kunyari, um, ginawa ko to sa ano eh, doon sa dental clinic nung asawa ko. Yeah. So meron kaming ad, 2-minute ad, video ad. Walang targeting. Ano lang, buong Metro Manila lang. Yan. Medyo magastos pero gusto ko lang yung video is about dental stuff. Yan. Hindi about the clinic. Walang kahit ano. Ang gusto ko lang malaman is sino yung manonood ng video. So, sa Facebook kasi, pwede kang mag-set ng marketing funnel. Gumawa ako ng pangalawang ad for the consideration stage. Ang ginagawa ng second ad, kung sino yung nanood ng ng 95 no, 10 seconds nanood nung ads ko or more, tsaka 95% nung first ad nanood nung video, papadal ko ng pangalawang video. Yan. So yun, medyo mura na yung bayad doon sa ad na yon kasi alam ko interested yung mga yung nanood ng unang video. Kadalasan may bumibili na doon or meron nang nagpapa-appointment or parang ganun. And then, out of doon sa nanood sa second ad, meron dong hindi pa convinced eh. Ngayon, may third ad pa. Yung third ad, ang tawag dito parang ano na siya eh, para siyang offer na they can't refuse. So, merong third ad, it's an offer na for 3 days, kailangan lang i-avail yung ganitong discount coupon or something, merong freebie, pero may scarcity at merong time element. So, ibig sabihin, parang 10 slots for 3 days, yun na lang. After nun, wala na. Usually, kakagatin sa consideration stage. And then, pagdating nila sa business, actual business, yung dito sa doon sa business, pag dumating na yung physically, meron kang ibibigay na something to get them to have them review your business honestly. Pero syempre gagandahan mo yung service. And then you give something of a physical coupon or physical discount na kailangan nilang bumalik para magamit. So ngayon, yung mga used coupons, used something, malalaman mo na merong loyalty ng nafo-forge. And usually, kapag nakatatlong balik na tong mga to, magiging loyal customers na sila. So, from there, an unaware individual na nanood lang ng video, kaya mong i-pull papunta dun sa business mo at kaya mo silang i-keep. So, yun yung mga factors. Yun yung parang isang perfect example of a marketing funnel. So, ang example kasi Facebook lang yung ginamit eh. Pwede kasing meron ka pang website na dadaanan, pwedeng may physical interaction with the individual via chat. So, iba-iba. Depends on the preference and kung paano nyo kilala yung target market. Nagets ba? May questions pa ba? So, susunod, digital marketing naman tayo. Pero for everyone, just create your e-commerce course and then I'll guide you along the way dun sa course side. So, any other question? Wala na. So, with that, that concludes our discussion for today. So, thank you for attending. Hopefully, okay yung mapagod kaka-attend. Actually, the next discussion natin is not really part of the course. Kasi actually, when you finish your e-commerce project, that's it. But who are uh, for those who are into uh, e-commerce, online business, uh, those discussion will be very helpful. Actually, hindi ko siya ipo-broadcast na sa YouTube, yung others, yung digital marketing because I'm preparing for a new course in UP Open University as a specialized digital marketing course as part of as a parang ano siya parang connected dito sa introduction to e-commerce pero a different course. So, part ng mga videos, hindi ko siya ipo-broadcast. I-keep ko siya as a private content for that course. So, if you want to attend, part na rin siya nung introduction to e-commerce for now. Okay? So, with that, thank you very much. And have a great night po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po. Thank you everyone. Yung premyo, share ko na lang sa course site. Don't worry. Uh, book a book price. Yan. So again, thank you everyone.